Morning everybody. It is just trying to sort the cat's just jumped up. What are you doing, game man? What day are we on? We're on a couple of days after New Year's Day. Saturday, I think. Yeah, we're on Saturday. Hello, caveman. And I just want to hope everybody had a lovely New Year celebration. I obviously stayed in with the cats. The neighbours across the road actually had fireworks, which is the closest we've ever had fireworks. And some cats went running, and a few of the cats went looking out the window, absolutely sort of fascinated by it all, which was quite nice to see. Okay, man, stop gazumping things. I was just sort of basically popping in just to say how the New Year's been going so far for me, which I'm pleasantly surprised and happy to announce that things aren't too bad. Doors have opened for me. Some opportunities have happened regarding work with Grace, and I'm just so grateful for the volunteers that have also helped and come along and supported me or come and actually done some physical work in here as well. So first things first, Tuesday I am going to take her off to Liam the Terrible. I've asked him if he can help me box the back in and do a bit of insulation, because I can't do it on my own. I also, by being on the road, it's very difficult to do things. I've got no power tools, I've got nowhere to pull out all the ply, pull out the bath, put out the fire without that obviously being seen. I obviously don't want, too many people sort of being around and when I'm on my own, and I don't want to have complaints about working in the road or anything. And obviously Liam's got the skills to help. I haven't managed to find any insulation yet, so I know we'll have to sort of buy something, but the new layout means that everything will be working in 8x4 sections, so hopefully be a bit easier, and he can help. I did say to him I'm obviously going to be there during the day with him, so I want to learn, I want to watch, I want to contribute, obviously help the costs as well, but it's very important that I actually am part of this build, and I'm grateful that he's accepted that, though he can't do the whole build, I haven't got funds obviously, but to contribute, to help, to get some foundation in, I'll be truly grateful for. And then of course I've had lots of offers for other help and things like that, but I need to sort of get things moving so I can get myself and the cats in, and actually sort of work on what we do. And the layout in the back is so tight that I want to have somebody with a bit of sort of ounce to help me get it right. And obviously Liam will also be throwing ideas at me, no doubt, and say, why not do it this way, why not do it that way. So I needed to have some sort of plan, and hopefully we can get that sorted now. Regarding the floor, I'm hoping he's going to agree with me about just building up on top of it. But again, if he's able to tear the floor up and not leave us in a situation where I can't get home that day, for instance, and it only being half done, then we'll go with it. But I do think I think it's right to build on the floor that's there, rather than take away extra sustenance. Anyway, but we will see, because obviously it will depend on how rotten things are around the walls and everything. Now obviously I wanted the back area all sort of tongue and grooved, but actually after drawing my plans out yesterday, there's so much cabinets and wall stuff and everything, there's going to be minimal wood showing on that wall anyway, so it's probably easiest to keep as ply and leave the rest of the area to be sort of put some cladding on later as I can afford. And obviously at the moment I have got the ply, so we're running with that. So whether I'm with him 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, all depending on costs of materials we've got to get in, and obviously his labour as to how much I invest there. And it may be a matter of just sort of doing a few days with him and then leaving it and going elsewhere, or maybe we can go back. Obviously I know things like electrics and things like that and all that sort of kit. He knows the men who can and everything, so no doubt Grace will go back. But I really truly wanted to have Liam have part of his mark on the lorry, because obviously he did Destiny. It's very much without him doing Destiny, I wouldn't have had the lovely home that I've got. So that is actually one of my ideas. I would like as many of the builders and van lifers and that around the circuit to be able to put their little mark on, or to sort of do a little bit of work in her, not just for to help her feel part of the community and myself, but also to sort of share it and everything, share the opportunity to get some work to everybody, even though I can't necessarily afford it, but we can afford little bits or trade certain things for it. Anyway, that done, obviously that's going to be happening Tuesday and whatever. I do have the council coming out to concrete the ground here. I think that maybe Friday, I think. So obviously we are limited how many days I can do this week, and obviously I've got to grab Liam while he is a bit quieter. And I also don't want to disturb him having this time off. He's obviously having a well-deserved break at the moment as well, working on his beautiful Land Rover Luton camper. So anyway, so we got Liam. Then as regarding the paintwork on the outside, this was the one thing that I really wanted done. I've been looking for sort of blaster sprayers. I know that would cost a fortune. Personally, I can't. I'm scared of heights. I get vertigo, so I know I wasn't able to do so much work, and also being on the road. Bentley wants to go out. Bear with me a minute. You want to go out? What are you doing? Sorry about that. But also being on the main road, I don't obviously want to have all the paint chip-ins and everything being all over the floor and making a mess. So I needed somewhere to go regarding that, and also needed help regarding that. So I just happened to be looking around some of the groups on Facebook and everything, and happened to see people talking about painting lorries and everything. And I just sort of commented, and basically the result of that was that somebody got back to me, PM'd me, and said that if they can help in any way, they've seen my videos, if they can help in any way, then they'd be willing to do so. And they've got a bit of land, a bit of small holding in that, where I can go with the cats and actually do some work off land, and they'd be willing to help me, which was like, you know, hallelujah, thank you, blessing that's just sort of coming out, just sort of thing I needed right now to help me feel a lot better, and have a bit of sort of, I trust in, you know, and when you do trust, and I did actually sort of make a sort of a silent sort of call to spirit, saying, come on, you know, am I on the right track, am I doing it right, you know, show us something, give me some help here. And you know, all this time we've been wanting to sort of go somewhere as well to help the cats learn that the lorry's their home when I get to move them in, for me to actually personally have a go at driving it somewhere, and, you know, living in it and things like that, while we are so basic, but also needing the help, and say not having the funds to be able to do some trade. This guy's got horses. I'm experienced in horses. I'm not fit enough necessarily at moment to help, but he actually hasn't asked for anything back in return, but I have offered a trade. I will be helping look after his horses whilst up there on his land doing some work, and he's also willing to help me get it all cleaned off and painted. Obviously I'm going to have to do a lot of work myself, I accept that, and as long as I'm around somewhere that I can be safe, and, you know, in case I fall and all these worries that I have, and I've got somewhere that I can obviously spend time with the cats, and they can learn to live in the lorry as well, and have, you know, to be able to go somewhere to not just work on the lorry, get help on the lorry, to get things done in return for labour. Wow, you know, it's just the answer to everything. So, and it also helped me get me fit and active, and, you know, working a bit more and spend a bit of time out in the countryside. You know, it's a dream happening, and it's the potential's huge. But obviously that's going to be down to me to be able to sort of, you know, pull from the deepest of myself to get this little chunky body sort of moving in and through everything, and getting things done. So that's obviously in the pipeline too, but obviously we can't get there until I can get the cats in the lorry and can move. So obviously I've really got to still continue on working on what I can here. We've got to obviously get the cages in, we've got to get the door in, get the it contained, get it so I can actually sleep in it and live in it somehow. I am concerned at the moment that there's not actually necessarily going to be a desk or somewhere comfortable to sit without the bath and seat being in, and obviously with the bed where it is at the moment, temporary bed, I haven't got a comfortable chair, but then obviously, you know, I can always put a fold-up chair outside, you know, but looking at the plan, that is an issue. I do know, you know, normally I'd sort of be lying in bed a lot, but the layouts are and the builds are that there's not necessarily going to be a comfortable bed for me to do that. So we'll see what happens regarding that. I have to put that in the back of my mind as well. I know I have the veranda, and obviously I can sit in a chair out there, but I can't put a comfortable chair into the bedroom area because obviously you can't get through the doors. And obviously the kitchen area is now such that it's all kitchen and bath. So that seat over that bath is going to be really, really important to get right, whether it's a seat or whether it's a bed. Ideally a bed, because then that'll allow me to have a desk back in the cat area. That needs to be such a comfortable place to sit and lie for me to have my rest, because obviously that's part of my condition. I need a lot of rest, I need a lot of downtime. So that is something that obviously I need to sort of focus and work on. Anyway, so that's just, you know, little things going around in my head at the moment. I know we've got to make do right now. I mean, a cushion on the floor at the end of the day is going to be comfortable if there's space to sit down. But yeah, I'm excited to get the cats in, to obviously go up to this farm the cats may have to be in before March. Obviously, we've got to learn to practice travelling and living it in everywhere before we actually go to work, and they're left and everything. So it looks like February I've got to sort of be on the road. So that again only gives me like a 4 to 6 week window really maximum to get us moving, get us going. And obviously once the cats are moved in, they're in. So it's like, ooh, you know, I've also obviously got working the shows in March, so I need to paint stock, get stock sorted and everything else. So I have obviously got a lot of pressure on getting that done. So there's no point me going to all these shows and having anything to sell, especially when I'm trying to rely on more on my stuff. Yes, I've got some bits left to sell, but I won't have the funds to buy in stock, and I don't want to go there. I want to be more on focusing on my artwork, my drums, my cards and things like that, and get the work in that way. And obviously that, you know, I'll get some healing, but I'll only be doing a healing demonstration, so I won't actually be having a table, it'll be a retail stall there, so I need to have enough stock on the table. Anyway, again, all these things I'm trying to process and go through. But anyway, oh yeah, something else I bought, my lovely stove. I actually got a book all about the Queenie stove and all about its history and everything else, and it's just a beautiful book. And it's, you know, part of my lorry, I wanted to be very traditional, going back to the old ways. I mean, I would have loved to have all like the copper pots hanging up and things like that, but it's going to be a bit clanging and be a bit expensive. You know, all in the old days when nobody wanted stuff, it was all thrown out, and I love that sort of stuff. And now antiques and old things are so expensive, and it's so annoying because I love all that sort of thing, and you know, it's I can't sort of furnish how I want to, and actually not just furnish but use those sort of things. So yeah, it's like even working at the kitchen and everything. Obviously I've got to get a surface in there, and I'll do a make-do camp cooker at the moment, and or get a little sink and everything in. But I still want it to look authentic, look like a log cabin, look very warm, cosy, very, not so much minimalist, but like I say, very traditional, very humble, you know, very basic. Basic but beautiful, you know, and the warmth of the wood and things like that, and have it something that connects so strongly with me. But also, like I say, I mean, I haven't really gained that much space. Actually, Grace is actually only 4 foot longer than Destiny and 2 foot wider. So, you know, even though I sort of given the cats, let the cats have less room and gain more, I haven't really gained more, because obviously, but that bath obviously would have been my desk space or a bed space or a settee. You know, I could have had a lovely settee where that bath is, but what I've got to try and do is put a bath with a settee on top of it somehow. I don't really want to lose it. Like I say, I love the idea. I love you know, I love the fact it's there, and you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I could also make it into a desk over the top, and then still have the bed or a settee in the other area, but then of course I'll have all the fire and everything going and kitchen going, not any opportunity to sit in there, and I really do want to sit in space in there. So there's got to be a lot of clever ways of doing things, whether I have a drop down table in behind the cat wheel in the bedroom, and have that will allow me to have a nice sort of more of a bed settee in there. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. Like I say, right now it's just make do. I've just got to be able to sit in there, sleep in there, travel in there, have the cats in there, have a loo bucket and cook, and that's it, you know. Or different things can be adapted later. It's just a matter of getting the basics in. And like I say, the measurements are going to be tight by the time we've got the ply in and the insulation in and the doors in. It's going to be very, very tight regarding that. So yeah, I was just coming on to have a bit of a waffle, my weekly weekend waffle, and just have a little sort of a catch up. But again, you know, I just want to send out that thanks to everybody who have reached out to me and the support I've had. Looks like I'm hopefully out of most of the darkness now, and you know, even though I'm obviously in a challenging situation, I'm feeling a bit more positive, and so grateful for these people reaching out to me to actually sort of realise that there is an opportunity to make this happen. And what I can do now, like I say, keep taking one day at a time, try to get myself up in here, and I'm allowing myself to have that time out and rest, and when I'm down, have that downtime. When I feel like working and painting, do that, and also when I feel like going down to Grace, do that as well. I'm trying not to sort of push myself too much, because I know how much I get affected by things, and my condition is such that, you know, if I push too hard or don't listen to it, that it just gets worse, and I just got to roll with it. But yeah, I did think, I was hoping New Year's Eve that this year would be a bit better start. I was in such a state, I thought I was going to be quite doomy and gloomy going into New Year's Day, but my word, what a wonderful first day. Today, I mean, I've been exhausted. I've been sleeping a lot today. Probably because obviously I'm doing more things, I'm running around more, I'm doing, and actually being quite active during the day. I'm exhausted because, again, I'm a big girl, I have issues, and I'm realising how much that's affecting me. So getting back into that, doing stuff and everything else is going to be quite testing on me, but it's what's needed. I've got to get fit and healthy in that somehow, but I'm also not pushing it. I understand, I've got to be in the right scenario regarding that, and once I'm out back in Grace, out with the cats, able to sort of go out for a little, stretch my legs and little walks, the time is when you have just got that time to do these things and enjoy it, then it's going to be beneficial to me. And we'll see how things go regarding that. I think, I really do need that. It's not so much a time out, it's actually going to be a real big kickstart to my life. And I have a lot of hope for this year. I'm going to say next year then. I have a lot of hope for this year, and there's a lot of potential and promise regardless of that C word and lockdown and things like that. I still will be continuing with what I've got to do, and getting the cats in their home. It is the cats' home. It's very important we get them in them, and obviously once they're in, I'm in too. So I'm excited over that. Yes, I can still obviously come back and forwards, and I'll use Destiny for that, but I can't obviously, but I will be living full time, as they say, in with the cats, and just coming back and forwards for facilities and things like that regarding the bungalow and any work I've got to do here or whatever. But I say, once the cats are in, they're in. And that's our new life. That's our new life in Grace started. That could be February now, or that could be, well, it definitely will be by March. March the 1st is definite to be in, because like I say, we have got shows and that, and I have to be in by then, and the cats have got to be in their home. Yes, there's going to be a few cat screams and complaints when we start moving around and driving around. So obviously I really want to have them settled at least in there and looking around and be comfortable with their space before we start doing that. But, it won't be... the first few shows aren't that far away, so they can at least sort of get used to the movement and then settle. But anyway, lots to do, lots ahead. I wish all the best to everybody out there, sending my love and gratitude out there as well. I hope 2022 is wonderful, whatever you do, whatever your plans are, whatever your dreams are. Just hang on in there, don't give up hope, keep positive, keep smiling. Do as I say, not as I do necessarily. But yeah, we are all one. What we do does affect other people, so remember that. And if you want to be loved, send love out there. If you want to be successful, offer that success to others, help others be successful. If you want to be rich, then give out, and then you'll get back. It's energy is strong and powerful. If you think negative will come to you. And this is one of the trips I so nearly sort of fell over, and I was going down that road. And so it's a matter of being when you're feeling so down, it's so difficult to feel happy and positive, but you've got to fight that energy. You've got to sort of keep going that way and keep trusting. And as I said, a little bit of trust was always there. I may have been fading, but I have that trust. I have to have that trust. And spirit's coming through, and they better keep coming through. The rewards are dangling. Yes, I've got to work for it. I appreciate I've got to work for it, because again, that's what I need as well, to make me better and healthier and stronger. So I respect that. Whatever the journey is ahead, it's the next chapter. Whatever happens, whether I have everything or nothing, I will have Grace and I'll have my cats, come what may. They are not going to be taken away from me. I will not give them up. I'd rather be without anything than lose what keeps me alive. And right now, that's Grace and the cats' destiny. I can respect that she may have to go, so I can keep them. I'll miss her, but when the time is right, she will go. Whether that be for £100 or £10,000, I don't know. But I have to get Grace right. Grace is our future. Grace is our home. I'm so grateful to Destiny. Obviously, we'll still be using her as a runaround and everything. But I've got to start letting go of my apron springs on her. I mean, I get emotional over a blinking van. But bigger and better to come in Grace. We may have nothing, but at the same time, we have everything. And I will be able to get out there and go and help those who I'm supposed to help. And that includes myself. We have to remember that this journey is about us. It's not selfish to look after number one. Without looking after each other, ourselves, without looking after ourselves, we cannot help others. As they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So yeah, lots to do, lots of work to do myself. But the end result will be that I'll be able to serve the community and work on that calling that's just still pulling at me, whatever it is. I know, obviously I have gifts to share, and I'm so grateful to those who kept me afloat when I was sinking, just as I hopefully gave others life when they had given up too. It's a journey indeed, isn't it? Anyway, time to go on. I've been waffling on for long enough for this vlog. I didn't expect to talk so long, but here's your weekend waffle. I'm looking forward to the future right now. Let's see what happens. And as ever, I'll be vlogging what goes on with Grace, what goes on with me, warts and all, tears and tantrums, the good times and the bad, and sharing that with you. And hopefully the content will get a lot more interesting to those who just don't want to see cats and they want to see more of the lorry stuff and outside and things like that. Well, we're getting there. It's coming. Lots of places to go, do see, work obviously, all the shows to go to, and I'll be taking you with me at those. And as I get fitter and stronger, obviously we'll be out walking a lot more again as well, and just sharing life with you, and sharing Mother Nature with you, and spreading out some wonderful energies, and ultimately that unconditional love. Bye for now. See you soon. Happy New Year.